My best wish for you today is that you're not in an airport somewhere or picking somebody up or waiting to get on a flight or waiting on anything, because we have a travel nightmare, absolute chaos happening right now. To me, the takeaway in the story, I'm still not used to this. It's a new era where we actually have government agencies calling out who's responsible for these kinds of things. The TSA, that's right, the TSA. The guys, the men and women that actually, pat you down or do airport security, their social media accounts are flat out blaming the Democrats for the shutdown. I know that this is done these days, and other agencies have done it, but I had to do like a triple take to make sure this wasn't a fake post. A series of posts, at least on X, to make sure this wasn't just fake news. But I think we know who's to blame for that one. As security, a DHA shutdown in the middle of a war with Iran. Makes all the sense in the world, doesn't it? Speaking of Iran, is it done with already? President Trump said yesterday, we're pretty much done. We got a couple of things to do, tie up some loose ends, but we're pretty much done. Wow. So much for a forever war, huh? We'll see about that. And what is up? Where is our SAVE Act? Where is the SAVE Act? I'm sorry, guys, and you're going to be mad at me. It's time to start blaming your favorite Republican senators for this one, because it's just, and House members. It's enough. It's enough of this. And God loved Maria Bartiromo yesterday, but she had enough too. She's kind of like, I think she's deaf. She screams all her questions, but that's okay. She asks the right questions. She grilled Senator Rick Scott yesterday, and he's in favor of the SAVE Act, but she just had enough. So where is it? So we'll get to that as well. In the meantime, thanks for finding me on Wicked Radio, the live stream and the podcast and the replay, X, YouTube, Facebook, audio podcast as well. Let's get right to this travel nightmare, what we're going through right now. I don't usually like to play the complete network news wrap-up of it, but it's actually pretty good. This was ABC News last night talking about
out of the travel chaos at many American airports, TSA checkpoints, the long lines, this partial government shutdown dragging on, and TSA agents haven't had a full paycheck in weeks. Here's Gio Benitez with the pictures.
Tonight, missed flights and ruined vacations as TSA staffing shortages throw spring break travel into chaos. Airports packed from Miami to Phoenix to Houston's Hobby Airport, where...
Speaking of Hobby Airport, I saw another video that ABC didn't have on that. Security was so bad at peak hours yesterday. Security lines were so bad because TSA, they're doing the best they possibly can. The line was into the parking garage. The freaking parking garage. As you're just trying to get into a flight. It said the average wait time through these airports throughout the country, and not all of them are that bad, but average wait time is 3 hours. But it's more than inconvenience. You have to look at where we are right now. We literally, over the weekend, I know I spent a lot of time talking about it yesterday, we literally, over the weekend, had homemade bombs thrown in the Upper East Side of New York. We're in a conflict with Iran right now, the world's leading sponsor of terror. You have to assume, and your working assumption has to be that there are terror cells already activated in this country. I don't want to scare you. I know it's only Tuesday and it's early for you live listeners. I get it. But what the hell are we doing? If there could not possibly be a worse time to shut down DHS over their freaking ICE protests than this time. And God loves Scott Jennings on CNN. This guy, he might single-handedly be saving that network. I'm sure you've seen the clips. I haven't seen him live in a long time, but he's the one. And they brought him on these ridiculous nighttime panels to have him as kind of like the token conservative on there where they're all gang up and beat him up. But he destroys them night after night after night. And it's incredible. And he did, and probably the best job he's ever done on this came up with the latest panel where he posed those exact same questions to these morons. The one question they didn't want to hear. All they're focused on is immigration and security. ICE is bad. Defund ICE. And he sits there and he tries to insert some common sense into the conversation and says, we have real, okay, you're sacrificing security and safety for Americans, American citizens, many of them your viewers, CNN, over your hatred of ICE. Do you realize what a bad idea this is? They didn't want to hear it, but he made a great point.
But does anyone here believe that we should keep the Department of Homeland Security, that's the name of it, indefinitely shut down to try to force ICE policy changes on an agency that's already funded until 2029, when you acknowledge there are sleeper cells, when we all see radical Islamic terrorists throwing IEDs in New York City, when we saw a radical Muslim terrorist shoot up a bar in Austin, when we had tornadoes in Oklahoma and Michigan this weekend, when we have TSA lines of 5 hours in airports, we have all these things going on. Is it even remotely reasonable?
What I believe.
These cackling idiots. No, I don't. No, that's not it. No, this is ice bad. He brought up all of those points, and that's why I wanted to play him. And he had him ready to go. All of the God, I forgot about most of them. You probably did too. Most of us probably weren't even aware of all the terrible acts that were stopped by Department of Homeland Security over the past 3 months. And I don't know if you caught this. I know this is a visual thing. Audio listeners, you obviously didn't see this. But the chyron there, the lower third of the screen is where they scroll the little headlines or what they're trying to say or what's coming up next. Did you happen to catch, if you're a viewer, what the chyron was when they first started up? CNN actually scrolled at the bottom of the screen. Trump suggests that Democrats may be blamed for terrorist sleeper cells. Yeah, I think they would be blamed. Let's see, which of the groups of people opened up the border, shut down Department of Homeland Security, and fought the federal government in every step of the way to try to stop terrorism? Oh, I don't know. And which ones of their partners in the media actually still completely glossed over this story of New York over the weekend, right? A unidentified device was found near the mayor's mansion. Call it like it is. It was a homemade bomb. 2 of them, in fact. That's what happened. It's just absolutely preposterous. And he tries to say that on CNN last night. No, that's not it. No. There could not. But here's the thing that amazed me, and I said this in the introduction. It still always kind of takes me back, and I have to do like a triple take to see if it's real. I know this is a different age. I get it. I'm still used to government agencies. They'll come up, if you're an ex-user, that'll come up if it's Department of Homeland Security or if it's something from like Department of the Interior, parks, whatever it is. You kind of think it's going to be a generic statement and they get something out there and some staffer or intern writes it. When TSA comes out with a post, and there's a series of them now, just a couple of days ago, that actually blames flat out the Democrats for causing this shutdown. I had to do a triple take to make sure that this was real. Let me start off with where they started under this. Again, TSA reposting something from Homeland Security. Homeland Security has been pretty, outward about this kind of stuff. Here's one. Americans across the country are now feeling the fallout from the reckless Democrat shutdown of DHS. This is a government department now calling out one of the political parties. Travelers facing TSA lines for hours, blah, 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 blah. Here's another one from TSA. Spring break under siege. Democrats' DHS shutdown has led to hours-long security lines at airports. Here's another one from TSA. Enough is enough. Travel nightmare. TSA directly, and this is from 19 hours ago in real time. This chaos is a direct result of Democrats and their refusal to fund DHS. I'm still getting used to like government departments calling out each other or calling out, playing politics on social media. And it's kind of petty, but it gets to the point and it kind of reflects what most people are saying. I kind of like it. I got to tell you, I get it. I know when the other political party is in charge, they'll be taking shots at the other people. And I get it. I get all that, but not bad. I kind of respect it. But anyway, hope you're not in an airport today or picking up somebody or something else. And let's hope that security is okay. Speaking of Iran, while all this nonsense, shutting down the Department of Homeland Security while we're in a conflict with Iran, if you want to call it a conflict. I know that sounds ridiculous. I really do. But that's what these politicians are doing these days. We got to give you the daily Iran update. And this was interesting from President Trump yesterday and had everybody asking the question, is this done already? Oh, it'd be an aftermath. But is most of the heavy lifting for our great American warriors, is this done already? Is it complete? I don't know who the reporter was. Great question to ask. And a very interesting response from President Trump.
On Iran, you called it an excursion. You said it would be over soon. Are you thinking this week it will be over?
No,
Are you talking
but soon.
about days?
I think soon.
Okay, and with respect
Very
to...
soon. Look, everything they have is gone, including their leadership. In fact, there are 2 levels of leadership, and even actually, as it turns out, more than that. But 2 levels of leadership are gone. Most people have never even heard about the leaders that they're talking about. So it's obviously been very, very powerful, very effective.
I love his answer to the question. No, soon. Well, almost soon. It's kind of, well, I don't know, whatever. You can always define and redefine and twist the definition of what a conflict is, meaning over. But here's my takeaway on this. I was told, so are you, that this is going to be another forever war. This is going to be a forever. And even people in his own party, oh, we're in another forever war. They said the same thing about Venezuela. Remember that? Now he's being cheered in the streets of Venezuela. Look, nobody is in favor of conflict and war. But if it comes to that, to keep Americans safe, what's more important? And I don't know about a forever war, and I'm sure there's a plan in place, and I'm sure there's still going to be troops over there, but it's not what they said. Here's the other thing they told us. They told us that oil was going to go through the roof, your gas prices, and they have gone up. I mean, that's just like, listen, your price at your local gas station has never made sense. It never follows the laws of supply and demand. That's all speculation and, in my opinion, price gouging. But if you look at the real oil prices, if you look at the stock market yesterday, did you notice what happened? Oil prices sank to new lows, some are calling them. But wait a minute, I was told the prediction was by this week the oil prices would be record highs. Another thing they were wrong about. So is he right? Is the Iran conflict over already? It depends on how you define it, I guess. But all I know is it's not what the media told me it was going to be. So there's that. All right, let's wrap it up with this. And this is where you get really mad at me. I'm going to blame flat out the Republican team for the not getting the SAVE Act done right now. And maybe you're blaming them already, but enough is enough. And I say that because you already know what the Democrats are doing. You already know they want to cheat elections. You already know they're against voter ID, and they're coming up with every excuse in the world. And it's, what did Schumer say the other day? It's Jim Crow 2.0 if you make people show of an ID to vote. Just the most ridiculous thing. And you've seen the polls go up and up and up. Even CNN has to report this now. It's got close to, I guess, all people combined, all demographics, over 80% American approval for the SAVE Act and voter ID. It's just common sense. What in the world is stopping it? Why do we not have this right now? You know the Democrats. You know where they are. You know every single one of them that's opposed to this. Where are these freaking Republicans, and why are they getting it done? This is who you need to blame now. Oh, but wait, they're the good guys. Okay, fine, whatever. I'm not a shill for them. I'm not a shill for the Democrats or anybody. I just care about the American people. That's who I care about. I'm America first. So who is holding this up? God love Maria Bartiromo. I think she's the best interviewer on television now. I truly believe that. She always asks the relevant questions. She gets right to it. She's not afraid. Usually yells her questions. I think it's a hearing thing, but that's okay. But she was grilling Senator Rick Scott yesterday. Where's the SAVE Act? And that's what was needed in this point in time. And he didn't know what to say. Really, truly, there was no reason for Rick Scott to go on television yesterday because he still has no answers. None. No answers. Said the same old thing, went into the same old lines, and you could feel her rolling her eyes at him. Here's the clip where it starts. We'll take it in two parts. We'll pause here in the middle, but God love her because I think she's expressing the frustration that we all have. If you've got the support of the American people, if you know exactly what you need to do, where is it? And I'm not blaming Rick Scott because God love him. He's been, been a poster child for the SAVE Act along with some others, along with Mike Lee and some others for a long time. But why aren't you getting it done? That was her question.
To secure elections. If you have to show an ID for almost everything in this country. Show an ID to vote. You have to make sure you're a U.S. citizen to register to vote. So I'm going to do everything I can.
What's holding it up? Because I agree with you, and most Americans do. 85% of Americans believe, yeah, we should have proof of citizenship before we vote. So what's holding it up then in the Senate?
First of all, let me pause there. This is what's great. I think my favorite TV people, especially like her, get right to the point. So she's expressing she knows her audience because they're her. You know, it's herself. She knows the expression. So she knows the exact point in time, and this is a broadcasting thing, to drop the hammer. And she kind of screamed it, sure, but that's exactly what 90% of her audience at the same time, and 90% of you are saying the same thing. So what's holding it up? And she expressed that, did a great job at that. I don't blame Rick Scott. He's just on there again, but he has nothing new to add. There's not really any point to him being on television again, except to, I guess, keep awareness out there about how important the SAVE Act is. He's talking about the same points, the same things. Stop going on TV. This is all of the Republican senators. Stop going on television until you have something to report. Get it done. We all know. We're not going to forget about the SAVE Act. People ask the same question every single day. We know. We get it. Come up with something. Go nuclear if you have to. Do whatever you have to do. There's obviously the rhino senators who are against this. They just happen to pick a Republican Party. They're actually part of a uniparty. You're a crook. You're a crook if you're against the SAVE Act. That's whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. You know who they are, Rick. If you're going to go on television and face questions from somebody like Maria Bartiromo, get out there and name them. Do it. Stop being so afraid. Get on television, get on a major media outlet, and name exactly not just the people, not just the senators who are opposing this thing, but why. Who lines their pockets? Who is compromised? It's time. They all talk about nuking the filibuster. It's time to start nuking some reputations. Start calling them out for who their donors are. Start calling them out for the reasons why they're opposing the SAVE Act when you've got almost everybody in this country in favor of it, except the ridiculous crooks who are trying to cheat elections. He didn't really have any answers here, but once again, she does a great job with it.
One of three things. You either got to get to 60 votes. We don't have them yet. We only have 50. Number two, you got to add it to a must-pass bill. And number three, we got to do the talking filibuster. So we've got to do one of those three things to get this passed. The public wants this done. On top of Donald Trump wanting this done, the public wants this done. Every Republican, Democrat, and Independent needs to make sure they go vote for this. I ask everybody, call your senator, all of them, even if the people have been on board, say, you have got to get this done. And call every Democrat senator and say, if you believe in this country and you want safe elections, you have got to get this bill passed. And
so
guess what? If you keep telling everybody to do it, they'll do it.
Do you expect a talking filibuster? You can't have a talking filibuster until the Department of Homeland Security is open, I'm told.
Well, I mean, right now, it's very important that we get Homeland Security. I mean, you can look at the airport.
All right, then he goes into that. A great point by her again, but you can hear her frustration. I just love that. She goes, I'm told. Why aren't you getting it done? And listen, it's no fault of Rick. I get it. And I think he's been a great senator. In fact, he's one of my two senators. But he's been a champion for this, but it's enough. As hard as he's worked on this, I don't want to hear from him again unless you start naming names and naming reasons, like I said. Start naming the reasons. Stop trying to be nice. Stop trying to be a politician. Literally, I want to hear the exact reasons. I want you to hold a press conference. Trump would be there to support you. I want you to hold a press conference, put up on a big billboard the senators, Republican senators, who are not supporting you on the SAVE Act to secure our elections under their names. I want a picture, a name of the senator, and I want a list of 5 or 6 of their biggest donors, whoever is keeping them from doing this, because that's the only reason. There's no other reason for this. It's absolute insanity. They're crooks, and you have to call them out. Oh, but they're the good guys. Not always. Not always. Just because. Don't be beholden. That's the big takeaway. Don't be beholden to one of these teams. The only team you have to be supporting are the American people, and the American people want the SAVE Act. Start calling them out no matter who the hell they are. That's what I want to see next. Start putting pressure on them. Maybe it's coming. I don't know. I hope so anyway. All right, I hope you're not traveling in the airport, but for some fun, seriously, if you're an X user, and maybe it's on Facebook too, I don't know, but look at the actual TSA, this Transportation Security Administration. Look at their posts and what they're saying. It's as if you're reading a post from an angry friend. I kind of dig it. I like it. Anyway, hopefully that clears up soon. And again, Rick Scott is right about one thing. I'll wrap up with this. He is right about that, but we've already called our senators. They already know about that. Now it's time to if you're going to call your senators like him, he's mine, I'll call him. I'll power the pen with an email. Start telling them to start naming names and the reasons why their colleagues aren't supporting the SAVE Act. That's what we need to do next. All right, thanks for finding me. I appreciate you. It's only Tuesday. Make it a wicked awesome one. Thanks for finding the replay on X and YouTube and Facebook. Audio podcast, too, gets posted right after we get off the live stream. I'll talk to you tomorrow.